Hi, it's Dr. Games, and I'm doing a Gamer Skillz video today on the Dark Book. The quest we're looking at in this video is obtaining the dragon heart for the mummy who lives in Ridden Town. And what we will do is go through at super fast speed so you can see the general path and the obstacles that lie in your way, and give you a feel for where you need to go to get this dragon heart. When we get to the final encounter, I will slow it down to normal speed again so that everybody can see how you defeat the boss. In this particular case, it was one of the easier ones. Each one of these bosses seems like there's a little bit of a trick to defeating him, and in this particular one, you'll see it when we get there. One thing I wanted to point out that's probably not 100% obvious just from watching this go through at 10 times speed is that you have to be relatively high level to get through this. Mostly what I put my points into was hit points, and you'll note that I started off with a more or less maxed out amount of mana and health potions before I undertook this quest, but that was in the range of about 20 each. By the time I got to the final encounter, you're pretty much out of them. What you'll note, and you can see it looking in the upper left up there, is that the red bar, which is your hit point bar, doesn't grow over time, but the blue bar, which is your mana bar, does. So if you remain static and just in one location, and you get eventually, at least at the level my character's at, you get about half of your mana points back if you're a little patient. And then you can use a couple of the healing spells, etc., to get your hit points back up near max. And you'll see that that's a wash, rinse, repeat cycle throughout this. Okay, with that little bit of a description, I'm going to go ahead and sit back and let this run through all the way without any additional commentary. Again, once we get to the final room, I will interject some comments that might be helpful to you. Okay, here we are entering the final room, and you can tell that that's happening because when we get up here, what happens but dun, 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 the doors seal behind you, and it's you versus the creature. Now, a standard approach with each one of these boss rooms is sneak around the outside, don't attract a mob, don't have all the monsters attack you all at once, and don't, for heaven's sake, don't go attack the boss monster without taking out the rest of his minions around the room, because you will get absolutely swarmed. There was a standard process you can see for dealing with these. I let my spells recharge, cast a shield. As soon as you attack him, 1 or 2 melee hits, then hit him with a fireball. Often, if it's a very strong monster, I would do a healing to my hero there, my skeleton. Okay, I'll let this run for a little bit while you see me take out the minions around the outside of the room. And once we get to the actual boss, the dragon in this case, I'll talk a little bit about strategy, although this is one of the easier bosses for sure to deal with. Okay, so this is our first glance. You can just see the feet of the dread dragon. I gotta tell you, I was a lot more worried about what would happen in this particular fight because it looks tough. But in actuality, it's strictly a melee creature. And look, in this particular case, if you walk outside its radius, it waits, it goes back to its location, it doesn't regain any hit points, and that's what I was testing there. And then you just beat the poop out of it, walk out of the way, it goes back to sitting up front. You rest, recharge, do what you're going to do, and then when you're ready, dun dun dun, you run forward, and so notice the shield. Pop it a couple times, hit it with a fireball. Fireball not wildly successful against this dragon, but I don't know what the mechanic is for handling of vulnerabilities, invulnerabilities, and those kinds of things. Anyhow, you will see that once we finished up, now I go back, I talk to the mummy, and it gives you a bunch of stuff. Actually, it tells you it doesn't know anything, but it gives you some items. And everybody in the town at Ridden Town at this time is telling you to go to the next town, which we'll do in another Gamer Skillz episode. Thank you all very much, and please subscribe.